We have been talking about development theories. Today we have a new development theory. It is low level equilibrium trap theory. It is developed by Richard Nelson. So today we are going to talk about Nelson's low level equilibrium trap theory. It is developed, as I said, by Richard Nelson in 1956. This theory is on the fate of underdeveloped countries or low income economies which are in the grip of vicious circle of poverty, as their income is too low and they are also in the grip of subsistence level of income. That means their per capita income is too low to maintain the population, and they are struggling poverty. They are fighting poverty, as their income is too low to maintain their people. The term low level equilibrium in the low level equilibrium trap theory refers to the low income status of the lower income economies or underdeveloped countries. So underdeveloped countries are struggling from the lower income status, and they are in the grip of poverty. They remain in that position for a longer period of time. That is why this is called low level equilibrium trap theory. The country is in trap of lower income status, and they are remaining in that position for a longer period of time, as they are not able to break the vicious circle. They are not able to stimulate the economic growth. They are not able to fight the poverty properly. So they remain in that position for a longer period of time. This is called low level equilibrium trap theory. However, the theorist also suggests the ways for which the low income economies can stimulate economic growth, breaking the vicious circle of poverty. Nelson explained his version of low level equilibrium trap theory through three equations. First one is investment equation, second one population growth equation, and third one is income growth equation. Let's look one by one. The first one is capital formation or investment equation. So capital will be formed, investment will be done when savings are positive. So savings is necessary for the investment. So for a lower income economy which are in the grip of poverty or vicious circle, as far as they are concerned, when they are on the subsistence level of income, or their per capita income is just minimum level of income required to sustain a population. So at that stage there will be zero saving and zero investment. So when there is zero saving, investment will also be zero. Then that means capital formation will be zero. No investment is resulted, no capital is formed. When the low income economies or the country's income or per capita income is just at the subsistence level, at the same time when they are able to take their per capita income above the subsistence level, so positive saving will be resulted, as when income increases, saving will have a tendency to increase. So this increased saving will cater the needs of the country. More investment will come as savings are available. The capital formation will be done properly when the nation's income is above the subsistence level. So this is the opposite case of the situation when income is below the subsistence level. So when income is below the subsistence level, that could lead to negative saving and negative investment. So disinvestment in fact will happen. No investment will happen. Moreover, negative investment will happen when the per capita income of the country is too low to sustain a population. So when their income is below the subsistence level, there will be negative saving, dis-saving, and there will be negative investment as well. So the country need to take their income above the subsistence level of to attain higher economic growth. Second one is population growth equation. Population growth in fact depends on per capita income and death rate. Both per capita income and death rate decide or are the factors driving population growth. So at the subsistence level of income, there could be zero population growth. Here the birth rate and death rate are supposed to be zero. Both are equal. That means here at the subsistence level, death rate and birth rate are not zero, but both are equal. Then the population will not fall, population will not grow, population growth will be zero when the per capita income is at the subsistence level of income. But when the per capita income is below the subsistence level, that means the income is too low to sustain a population. That means negative population growth will happen, as death rate will be greater than the birth rate. At this stage of per capita income, death rate will increase and it will be greater than birth rate. So somebody cannot survive as the income of the country is below the subsistence level. At the same time, when the income is above the subsistence level, the population growth will be positive, as everybody can survive. Moreover, birth rate will overcome death rate. So birth rate will be greater than death rate when subsistence level of income is greater than the minimum level. When the per capita income level is greater than the subsistence level, population growth will be positive. And population is connected to the death rate, as I said. When population growth will be maximum when death rate is minimum. Similarly, population growth will be minimum when death rate is maximum. So at the subsistence level of income, birth rate and death rate are equal, then population growth will be zero. At the below the subsistence level of income, death rate will be greater than birth rate, then population growth will be negative, minus growth rate will happen. Above the subsistence level of income, birth rate will be greater than death rate, or death rate is lower than birth rate, then population growth will be positive. And let's straight away move to the third equation of the Nelson's theory of low level equilibrium trap theory. This is growth of national income equation, that is income determination equation or income growth equation, as the income is the function of three K, P and T. K refers to capital formation, P refers to population growth, and T refers to the transaction. T refers to level of technique. So at the equilibrium level of subsistence income, when a country is at the subsistence level of income for a longer period of time, or they are at the equilibrium level of low income equilibrium trap, the population is supposed to be zero. Population growth is supposed to be zero, as birth rate and death rate are equal. Saving growth will be zero, as their income is too low to save something. The people are not able to do that when income is at the minimum level. And when investment growth will also be zero. When saving is zero, investment growth will also be zero. Similarly, income growth rate will also be zero. So this is the condition of low level equilibrium trap. At the same time, if the income is when the nation is able to take their income above the subsistence level, all indicators will be positive. Population growth will be positive, saving growth will be positive, investment will be positive, and income economic growth will also be positive. But that is not the only condition for the economic growth, for the sustained economic growth. In order to make the economic growth sustainable, we need to understand something. So in order to have sustained economic growth, the income growth, that means delta y by y, that is the income this is the economic growth. Then economic growth should be greater than the population growth. That means per capita income growth should be greater than the growth rate of population. This is delta y by y should be greater than delta p by p. Delta p by p is the population growth. So income growth should be greater than population growth. This is that is positive growth, and this is sustainable growth. In fact, otherwise the growth could not be sustainable when the population growth is greater than the income growth. That is, delta p by p is greater than delta y by y. Then that is reverse growth. The economic growth is not sustainable. Economic growth will come down, and negative growth will be resulted. This is a situation when population growth is greater than economic growth, and when population growth is equal to the per capita income growth, that means delta p by p is equal to delta y by y. This is neutral growth. That means nothing is going to be positive. Finally the neutral growth will be resulted, and it is also not sustainable. And in order to make the economic growth sustainable, we need to make sure that our income growth should be greater than the population growth. Nelson's low-level equilibrium trap theory can be explained by using this diagram, which has three segments: segment 1, segment 2 and segment 3. Segment 1 is on population growth, segment 2 is on capital formation or investment equation, that is it is on investment equation or on growth of capital formation, and third one is on economic growth, combined economic growth. So let's look the first segment first. It is on growth of population. The population growth will be positive only when the y by p, that is the per capita income, only when the per capita income is positive, population growth will be positive. So when the income per capita income or y by p is below the subsistence level or below the point j, as you can see on the segment 1 point j, so below that the population growth will be negative, as death rate will be greater than birth rate. So delta p by p, that is delta p by p is population growth. It will be positive after or only when the income is above the subsistence level, and it will be increasing until u, and then remain stagnant for a period of time, and it will again come down. This is the situation explained by Richard Nelson. And let's come to the second segment of the diagram. It is on growth of capital formation. Capital formation will also be positive only when the per capita income is above the subsistence level. Otherwise the population capital formation will be negative, investment will be negative, saving will be negative when income is below the subsistence level of income. And income, per capita income must be above subsistence level for having positive capital formation, positive saving, positive investment. And that is about the second segment of the diagram. And let's look at the crucial and third segment of the diagram, where you can see both population growth, income growth, all are given in the third segment of the diagram. If you can see the subsistence level of income in the third segment is given by the point S. In the third segment, S refers to subsistence level of income, and below the subsistence level of income, every indicator will be negative. Population growth will be negative, savings will be negative, investment will be negative, economic growth will be negative. That means the poverty status of the country will further exacerbated when the income is below the subsistence level, or when the income is at the subsistence level. All indicators will be all growth indicators will be zero, neutral. No growth will happen at that stage. Then economy needs to have positive growth. In order to that to happen, the country need to take the income level to the above sub. Then the population growth will be greater than the income growth. There you can see delta p by p is greater than delta y by y. That means population growth rate is greater than income growth rate. This is in fact reverse growth. That should not have happened. We need to have positive growth. It is possible in this segment, as you can see, in between L and N, or y by p1 and y by p2, the growth rate of income is greater than delta y by y is the growth rate of income, and in that stage income growth rate is greater than the population growth rate. This is called positive growth rate, and there is in fact a possibility for population growth to be higher than the income growth rate, and here government need to take measures for bringing the things under control. So as far as a lower income economy is concerned, lower income country is concerned, they need to have a income level which is above the subsistence level for to get all indicators to be positive, all growth rates should be positive, then only the economic growth will be positive. So not only that, they have to make sure that the income growth rate is greater than the population growth rate as well. Then only the sustained economic growth is possible for a low income economy, as far as a low income economy is concerned.